For generations, we have pointed our telescopes to the stars, searching for a sign, a whisper in the dark that we are not alone. We built the James Webb Space Telescope, not just to see farther, but to see differently, to perceive the heat of distant worlds and the chemistry of ancient light. But nothing in its design could have prepared it for 3I/Atlas. What began as a routine analysis of a curious interstellar visitor has now become a crisis in cosmology. Webb's data has revealed something impossible, something that should not exist, a light that does not come from the sun but from within the object itself, a controlled artificial glow. We are no longer looking at a rock. We are looking at a machine. 3I/Atlas was first cataloged as a faint, fast-moving speck on the edge of our solar system. Its trajectory was its first clue, a hyperbolic path that screamed it was not from here. It was a messenger from the void between stars, flung into our backyard by forces we may never understand. Initially, astronomers expected another Oumuamua, a bizarre, tumbling rock. But from the very first measurements, something was profoundly wrong. Its brightness was too consistent. Unlike comets, which flicker and flare as they vent gas, Atlas's luminosity was steady, unwavering, as if powered by an internal source. It wasn't reflecting sunlight. It was generating its own. The internal heartbeat. This anomaly demanded the world's most powerful eye. The James Webb Space Telescope locked onto the object, its infrared sensors designed to read the heat signature of the universe itself. What it found did not match any natural profile. The thermal data revealed a concentrated heat source at the object's core, radiating outward with a precision that nature does not create. This was not the diffuse warmth of a sun-warmed rock. This was the signature of a power source. Even more chilling was the rhythm. The thermal output pulsed, faintly, irregularly, but unmistakably. A slow, steady heartbeat in the cold vacuum of space. This was not geology. This was functionality. As theories of exotic radioactivity or internal friction were dismissed by the data, a more terrifying possibility emerged. Spectroscopic analysis revealed the true nature of Atlas's light. It wasn't broad-spectrum sunlight. It was emission in a narrow, controlled band of wavelengths, a specific shade of infrared, too perfect to be natural. This is how we design our own technology. We're LEDs, laser comms, precision beacons. Atlas was broadcasting on a single, deliberate frequency, and when solar radiation fluctuated, this emission shifted in perfect response, as if an onboard system was compensating to maintain a steady signal. This object wasn't just shining, it was communicating. The question is, to whom? A signal is found. The world's radio telescopes then turned their dishes toward Atlas, listening. At first, there was only the expected hiss of cosmic static. But scientists trained to find order in chaos began to dig deeper. They filtered out the noise of pulsars, quasars, and solar wind. What was left was not silence. It was a pattern, a faint, repeating pulse buried in the static. Using Fourier transforms, a mathematical key to unlock hidden rhythms, they found it, a signal with near-perfect intervals. This was not the slow, decaying spin of a dead star. It was structured, elegant, and intentional, a message woven into the fabric of background radiation itself. It responds. Then, the moment that shattered all debate. Without warning, 3I/ Atlas erupted. In less than 2 minutes, its brightness surged by 40% in a perfectly symmetrical flare. This was no cometary outburst. It was a controlled energy release, a surge of power from within. Webb's instruments recorded a simultaneous spike in core temperature. It was as if the object had awakened. Crucially, this event occurred precisely as Atlas crossed a gravitational threshold in our solar system, as if it was triggered by an invisible milestone. The timing was theatrical, deliberate. It was a response. It is aware. Days after the flare, tracking data confirmed our deepest fear. 3I/Atlas was no longer on its original trajectory. It had performed a course correction. The deviation was small, precise, and could not be explained by gravitational influences or outgassing. It was a maneuver. The new path brings it significantly closer to the inner solar system on a near-intercept course with Earth's orbital neighborhood. This object is not drifting, it is navigating. It has awareness, it has intent, and it is moving with a purpose we cannot yet understand. The final damning evidence came from spectroscopy. Webb's analysis of Atlas's surface revealed not ice and rock, but highly reflective alloys and rare Earth elements. Most shockingly, it detected spectral lines that match no known natural element on our periodic table. The composition points to materials engineered under conditions we can scarcely imagine, perhaps a quantum material existing only in theory. This is not the makeup of a simple comet. This is the hull of a vessel. It didn't begin with a grand announcement, but with a whisper in the data. A faint, almost imperceptible signal buried in millions of bits of information from James Webb. Something any other algorithm would have dismissed as noise, a glitch, a matrix error. But this signal was different. Its structure was too perfect, too mathematical. This wasn't some chaotic energy spike from a dying star or the echo of distant asteroids colliding. This was a pattern. Engineering precision at the heart of cosmic chaos. And this pattern was coming from an object we had written off as just a strange, albeit interstellar, chunk of ice and rock. But Atlas had been pretending all along, while the world argued about its nature. While NASA maintained cautious silence, the world's most powerful telescopes were already on a quiet hunt. And Webb, our most advanced sentinel in the dark, began to unravel its truth. First, it broke its light down into a spectrum, and what we saw defied all natural explanation. The wavelengths weren't a random assortment. They repeated with Swiss watch precision, arranging themselves into a complex, recurring sequence, a cosmic cipher, a code woven into its very glow. The measurements revealed something staggering, a diameter of 46 kilometers. That's colossal. It makes it an anomaly among anomalies. For an object of this size to randomly traverse interstellar space is like finding a perfectly polished diamond cube deep in the Earth's mantle. Statistically, it's so improbable that we're faced with a brutal choice. Either we don't understand the fundamental laws of galaxy formation, or this object was sent here on purpose. But the most alarming fact wasn't its size or its light. It was its path. 3I/. Atlas didn't come barreling into our system at a random angle, like Oumuamua did. It arrived with surgical precision, slotting into the orbital plane of our planets like a key into a lock. The odds of such a coincidence? Roughly 1 in 20,000. It flew past Mars, used Jupiter for a gravity assist as if following a pre-planned route. This wasn't drift. This was a flyby with intent. Avi Loeb, The Harvard astrophysicist whose bold hypotheses about Oumuamua were met with skepticism by many colleagues now speaks bluntly and confidently. This trajectory is technologically significant. It is optimized for gravitational maneuvers and for observation. Its angle of entry was engineered to be seen by our best instruments. It's as if it wanted us to study it, but not to understand everything right away. And there's one more detail that will freeze your blood. If you trace its path back into the depths of space, its point of origin leads us to the Sagittarius constellation. It was there in 1977 that the Big Ear radio telescope captured the legendary WOW signal, the loudest and most unexplained radio signal in human history, one that has never been deciphered. So ask yourself, what are the odds that the most mysterious object in the history of our observations came from the exact same point in the sky from which the most mysterious signal already reached us once? This is not a coincidence. This is a hint. We are not just observers anymore. We are participants. Something is in our solar system. It is powered, it is signaling, and it is aware of its environment. What do you think it is? A von Neumann probe? An ancient sentry? Vote in the poll and argue your case in the comments. Subscribe and hit the bell. We will be with you every step of the way as this story unfolds, bringing you live data and breaking analysis. Become a member to support truly independent investigation into the greatest mystery of our time. The silence is over. The conversation has begun.